Hello everyone, welcome to my video podcast. I'm your host Qino Xie. Today we will discuss a topic that concerns the fate of the world. What is happening to the global governance system after Trump 2.0's return? This isn't just a story about a political figure coming back to power. It's a direct clash between order and chaos, multilateral cooperation and nationalism. And Trump is the most typical and symbolic variable in this collision. Here's the outlines of what we will explore today. First, let's clarify the concept of global governance. It's not a world government, but a mechanism for collective consultation and problem-solving on issues like climate change, pandemics, conflicts, and global cooperations. This system relies on trust, rules, and coordination. But Trump is a classic rule breaker. He rejects the institution and believes only in deals and America first. The mindset is eroding the delicate framework of global cooperation. So how is Trump disrupting this system? Upon taking office, he withdrew from the Paris Agreement, the UN Human Rights Council, the WHO, and repeatedly threatened to quit the WTO. His justification: the US pays the most but lacks enough influence. He dislikes multilateralism and favors one-on-one deals, like demanding Mexico fund the border wall, pushing South Korea to boost defense spending, and pressuring Ukraine over political investigations. This kind of transaction diplomacy might seem assertive but fundamentally undermines trust and cooperation. Don't think he's just engaging in withdrawal diplomacy. He's also quickly changing global business rules, especially when it comes to multinational cooperation. His influence is even greater than in international organizations. In addition to nations, multinational corporations are also key players in global governments, but they often operate on the edge of the rules and are difficult to regulate. Countries were originally working to promote things like a global minimum tax and corporate responsibility standards. But Trump simply withdrew from the global tax agreement and openly protect American tech giants. He even brought corporate executives into the government to participate in decision making, while simultaneously relaxing environmental and financial regulations. In other words, go ahead and make money, but don't let external rules hold you back. Another critical aspect of global governance is development, especially for poor nations. For them, it's not about charity, it's about survival. Trump cut deeply, slashing 90% of USAID programs, exiting UNESCO and the Population Fund, and cutting WHO funding. These funds are lifelines for many developing countries. The result: climate fund dried up, vaccine distribution became chaotic, and key development projects stalled. The global wealth gap became even harder to bridge. Could the UN have stepped up to fill the void? It tried, but it staggered. Once the cornerstone of global governance, the UN has been weakened. Trump voted budgets, withdraw from talks, dismiss international rulings, and block US delegates from signing agreements. When a major power like the US disengages, how can others still trust the system? This reveals a harsh truth. When the richest, most powerful countries step back, multinationalism falters. And it goes deeper. Even core values like human rights and peace have been politicized. Trump withdrew from the Human Rights Council, sanctioned the International Criminal Court, and enacted harsh immigration policies, separating children from their parents. This action drew strong global criticism. More trouble is that he used these fundamental values as bargaining chips. This is not just a change in policy, it's a direct challenge to the ethic consensus behind global governance. Does this sound a bit pessimistic? But actually it may not be. This shock has forced countries around the world to wake up and start thinking about new paths of governance. After Trump 2.0 arrived, many people asked, is global governance coming to an end? I think it's not the end, but a violent reminder because of his apparent. Many issues have been magnified, forcing the world to start rethinking how this system should be reformed and where it should go. Now we see the southern countries are establishing their own banks. African nations are pursuing digital sovereignty. The EU is attempting to reduce its reliance on the US, and young people are taking a stand on climate issues. In other words, the old order is indeed falling, but a new order is taking shape. So the real question isn't do we need global governance, but can we fix and revive it? Because institutions and agreements are not indestructible. The UN is not inherently a moral haven, and multinationalism needs to be continuously maintained. Everything depends on consensus, trust, and leadership. If we don't act, the next Trump may come faster and do even more damage. Thank you for your listen. I hope this gave you something to think about. See you next time. It's my reference. More detailed information can be found in the report I upload.